Hello, America.
Well, let's see. It's still spinning right now. I'm not sure if it...
Call your wife.
Oh, okay.
All right. Does that say who you have on?
All right. Is anybody on right now viewing this?
You just got someone sent something.
It's seeing that we're live right now.
What did someone just send?
Okay, we got one person viewing.
Okay.
That's all we need.
It's okay.
That's it.
Then we know it's working.
Let's start off slow and then slowly build up. How about that?
Mark Ryan talks really fast, but he'll try.
All right, we have one person. Thank you, whoever that is, and if that's us, thank us for being here. Let's see. Let me confirm. Text the capital. Oh, we got yeah.
All right.
We got some people watching. Okay. All right.
Happy Memorial Day to everyone before we start. If you're on the road traveling, please be safe. A lot of crazies out. So.
Please don't be watching this if you're on the road traveling
That's true.
right now. That's not what you want to do. We have a couple people watching right now. We have my lovely wife Monica, but that might be it. So anyway, let's just start this off. Okay. I'm JP Warren, the host of Round the Rotary podcast, and with us today we have a very good friend, mentor, some might say, Mark Ryan with Premier Pipe. And Mark, first off, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And a little bit of background on this. I wanted Mark to come on the podcast. However, usually with a podcast, what we'll do, we'll film it or we'll record it, and then we'll wait a couple of weeks. But he said, let's just go live. Let's do it live. So thank you for pushing me to kind of get out of my comfort zone, which I think is pretty crucial right now.
In this market, it's incredibly crucial.
And I think that's kind of that's exciting to try new things. So this is the first time we're going live around the Rotary. And Mark, thank you for motivating me to do that. And I guess to start it off, let's kick it off. Let's give a little background about yourself, if you don't mind.
I signed my name Mark D. Ryan because my middle name was Damien.
Okay.
Which, if you watch the Open and stuff, people say it fits. Been married for 35 years. Have one son. Graduated from Texas A&M in 1981 in a degree called Industrial Distribution, which has served me very well. Have had the benefit of working. Starting in the wellhead business in 1982, have been through a lot of downturns. We went to work for a company called Cactus Pipe, which we sold to another Sumitomo company, which is what Premier is owned by Sumitomo Corp. We had that run for 10 years. Yep. 2 years ago in August, I had the opportunity to sell to Premier Pipe, which was, I knock on wood, was absolutely the best thing. And I don't mean that for, people always say when you sell your company, what'd you get? It wasn't about that. What I got from Premier, which makes them incredibly special, is they took everybody from Houston. They took our people in Dallas. They brought everyone in and embraced them like we had been there forever. So
it wasn't just a buyout or a
no, it was more of
a partnership.
I call it a merger opportunity.
Okay.
And I told my employees that this is the one company I feel that you go to work for that you can have a career the rest of your life. And with this downturn and what we're experiencing, and I'm not. This is not a sales pitch today for Premier, but we have the wherewithal, we have the financial backing and so on that we can weather this storm because it could be here a while. And I have to do this. H, I don't remember our code word, so this is a shout out to you, H. So you said I had to do. So cheers to H.
Cheers to us.
So that's my background.
And thank you everyone for joining us today. Again, it's Mark Ryan with Premier Pop. I see a couple of people getting on currently as we do this. So I want to bring Mark on because Mark always, to me, he's one of the most knowledgeable pipe salesman people in our industry. You have a lot of respect. You're very humble. You're down to earth. You're a little bit crazy, which I love, which I enjoy. But I want to bring Mark on because he has such a unique experience as not only has he's been through this, but I've seen how he established relationships and how he sells to our customers, which are our friends, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. So I kind of want to kind of dive into that on your thought process on. We were talking before about you were saying it's not if you don't love it, why be doing it?
That's it. Life is too short. In 1982, when the market, totally took its first crash that I experienced, I had a regional manager, Cecil Ford for WKM, and he looked up at us at a dinner and said, "Look, if you're not happy with what you do, then you need to go do something else because life is too short." There's nothing worse than for people that, I don't know people's home life, but everybody's home life is not great.
Right.
The worst thing is the only place that a lot of people have relief in their life is the job they go to. The people that they get to be with, the co-workers that they feel a need and respect. And it's really important that they have that in life. And there's nothing worse than going to work every day in a place you don't want to be. When Kel Taylor came to work for us, Kel, I don't think you're listening. If you are, I love you. Kel interned for us on a summer, and Kel's 6'7".
Yes.
So when I had to holler at Kel, he was tired of me telling the story. I would stand on the chair so I could look down to scream at him.
Yeah, he looks like that big cowboy in Dallas.
When he leans over. But when Kel came to work for us, the market completely had gone south. That's the first downturn Kel Taylor experienced. And Kel Taylor looked at me and said, "Am I okay?" And I said, "Kel, you're our future." And I mean that for every person that's young. I'm 60 years old. JP, I know you're 40. You young people are our future. These podcasts, this thinking outside the box, this doing, first time I've never answered a call. This thinking outside the box is where it's moving. So when Kel, he felt come to me a job, he looks at me and says, "So, it's Mark." I said, "Yeah, Kel." He says, "Where's my training manual?" Because he was an ID grad also. And big corporations have a training manual. I said, "I don't have a training manual." And the look on his face was like, "Oh my God, what did I get into?" I said, "So here, and for anyone that's out there with Premier, you've heard this story. I'm sorry you get to hear it again." I said, "Kel, this is your training manual."
The phone.
I said, "Every time it rings," I said, "you have to put it face down." I tell the kids this at A&M that I speak to. You got to put it face down. I said, "Every time that phone rings, you got to answer it. Kel Taylor, Premier Pipe."
Yeah.
And face down. Kel Taylor, Premier Pipe. I don't care if it's your mother. I don't care if it's your brother. I don't care if it's your girlfriend.
Why?
Your phone is your life.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And my goal in the first lesson in teaching in sales is we are specialized in our business. Okay, I'm responsible for the pipe that goes in the ground. Cat Petroleum is responsible for the consultant that's on location.
Right.
Okay. Well, my customers are responsible for the mud, the cement, the drill bits, the rig house,
everything that goes in the operation. Correct.
Kel, if I got to call you twice, one, I don't need you. So my big pet peeve, I told my people, there's nothing that bugs me more than young people to do this. I'll call you back.
Well, what's funny is before we actually went live, I was like, "Hey, Mark, just make sure you silence your phone or you turn it off." And he goes, "I'm not turning my phone off. I've never turned my phone off.
I turn it off.
I gotta get it. I always have to get my phone." And that's I mean,
but now you have that tool that says, "Sorry, I can't talk right now."
Oh, I hate that.
So no, but you know what? It's great because if you're talking to a customer and a rig calls you, I don't want the rig to think I didn't hear him. So at least if you say, "Sorry, I can't talk now," and they respond back, they go, "Okay, call me when you can." At least they know that you acknowledge the fact that the call came in.
Right.
And that's at least better than just, "I'll talk to them later."
Well, I think that's also extremely important what you're saying in our line of work in our industry. To us, relationships are everything. Relationships matter. That's the most important thing. At least in my opinion, probably yours too.
It's everything.
And so that being said, there's no training manual. It's the phone. You pick up the phone, you talk, you build that relationship.
But the other thing is you when you pick this phone up, when you pick up any of this, I don't care if it's your mother, your brother, someone that made you mad, that insulted your wife or your kids had a fight. The bottom line is this. Selling is not a job. And this is what I told Kel. I said, selling is not a job. Selling is a way of life. And I don't mean that from the standpoint of, well, I have to learn how to. No, what I'm saying is whether I'm talking to you or whether I'm talking to my brother, whether I'm talking to a customer, I have the same respect for all three people. I should treat you as well as I treat my customers. I should treat my wife and child. Susan, I know you're listening. I'm sorry I haven't done that. But I should treat my wife as well as I treat my customers. She said she's like number 5 on the list.
Oh.
In pecking order.
Not the top 8.
But it is true. And I think I tell people that. And I kind of go into the hot dog story, which I told you about.
So when I first called Mark to come on, he goes, "Oh, this is a great idea. I want to tell the hot dog story." I was like, "Well, let's keep it professional." But apparently there is a story behind it. So let's talk about the hot dog story.
My son is 34 years old, Jonathan Ryan. He served in the Navy for 4.5 years. He worked for Cactus Pipe. He worked for Premier, and we'll get into this later. We've had layoffs. We've all experienced that in this market, and Jonathan was one of the ones that got caught in the layoff, along with the other 36 million people or whatever it is.
36.5, yeah.
So, that's part of life, and we can get into that on the bottom on what do we see as far as oil field. But when Jonathan came to work for me, he was in logistics in the Navy, and we're playing golf, and we made the turn to go to 10. And I'm sorry, you'll notice I talk with my hands a lot. We made the turn, and I said, "Jonathan, grab me a hot dog and a Diet Coke."
Mm-hmm.
And I got downstairs, and there's a Diet Coke and a hot dog sitting in the cart, and I'm telling you, his smile was from here to here. So and I'm not going to cuss today. I told you I wasn't. I'm working on it.
Good for you.
So we got to 10.
Good for us.
And we played. We got to 11. I said, "Jonathan, I'm really not that hungry. You can have the hot dog and the Diet Coke." And he said, "Dad, I really screwed this up, didn't I?" I said, "You didn't screw this up." He said, "I screwed this up." I said, "You didn't?" He said, "Okay, you screwed it up." And he says, "How?" I said, "You did exactly what was asked, which is better than probably 70% of the world." Okay?
Right.
But what he didn't do is, he's my son. I have never drank a Diet Coke that isn't with ice.
Full of ice.
Full of ice.
That's right.
I have never had a hot dog or salad or anything that have Tabasco sauce on it. So what Jonathan did, what was asked for him. What he didn't do is go above and beyond. And that's what I tell young people when we look at a way of life. It goes back to that selling as a way of life. Anticipate what people want. If you go to lunch with someone 4 times and you see them drink iced tea every time and they go to the restroom and they come back and they sit down and everyone's drinking iced tea and they go, "Did you order anything to drink?" "I didn't know what you wanted." Now I get to use my first cuss word. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay? They didn't anticipate. So it goes back to going above and beyond what's your job. Just like I used to tell our people that it's like breakfast. Well, we're salespeople. We take breakfast to clients. I told our salespeople, if you ever take them Whataburger or Taco Cabana, I'm going to fire you.
Why is that?
Because there's no effort in it. Okay? Why should, if I'm generating revenue off you, Mr. Oil Company, and I'm going the extra mile, that should not be, what did we talk about? Everything. It's a way of life. You should have the same vigor and the same enthusiasm. And I brought my napkins, and everyone from Premier is going to laugh, but I had these made that say Premier Pipe and so on, that I require our people to bring to breakfast, because you should have the same enthusiasm and will. And let me tell you right now, when you wake up on Saturday morning, do you tell Monica, "Man, I am dying for Taco Cabana right now. Let's go down there and pick up one of them Whataburgers in a plastic bag"?
No, absolutely not.
I want to go to Avalon Diner and have this and this. Well, so we found places to where the breakfast had meaning. And yes, it's crazy when I go down now. I tell these kids this: you just got a $100,000 education to learn how to deliver breakfast. But the point is it's that mindset.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry about interrupting, but I think that's important too. It's like sometimes in our careers and our jobs that you're going to have to do things that whether it's you don't feel. I remember I was 5 years at Noble Drilling and I was working offshore, and I had my master's from France, like la-di-da. And I remember that one of the pulsation dampeners blew up. There was mud everywhere, and there I am just cleaning it up, mopping it up, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I got but then I got my master's. Like, what am I doing out here? Like, I could be like in an office, but then it's like you start thinking about it. It's like, but this is where you're gonna learn. This is where your friends are. I made some of the best relationships I made offshore, and you have to be able to do different things and things that kind of just take the ego away. Take the ego away.
I came out of college in December of '81. Went to work for WKM Wellheads. I was going to these parties where they were serving shrimp this big and bringing in Nashville singers, and oil was at this, and pipe prices, and unbelievable. And all of a sudden, a little bit like now, it just went boom. And they came to me and they said, "Hey man, you don't have a job."
Okay.
I said, "No, I'm on that sales training program. 6 months in the shop, 6 months in the field,
you work your
6
way
months
around.
in the office, and I'm certified." They said, "No, that's a pickup truck out there. You can go work rigs for 2 years, and if there's an opening, we'll let you know." And I went and did it. My mother cried every day because she said, "But you went to college and you have a degree in engineering." And I feel the same way, because when you and I were talking to Chris earlier, Chris Onbreaker, is he vice president or president here?
Managing partner.
When I were talking to Chris earlier, when someone calls and asks me a question, I don't just say, "Take it down." Well, what size bid are you running? And it's that experience from working on those rigs for several years that you just can't replace that.
I think the most valuable thing I got from working offshore, because I used to be very nervous to call the rigs and all that stuff, because I just didn't, I wasn't sure like how to talk. What the biggest thing that I got from working offshore was the ability to talk to anyone from the CEO down to the raspat, down to the crews on the boat. You know what I mean? Like, it was such a good experience. But I want to kind of go into, not to kind of lose track of this. So we're talking about breakfast runs and all that, but we were talking previously that a lot of companies now, due to COVID and people being, nervous about getting COVID and all this, they're not allowing salespeople or vendors in their office. So that being said, it's not going to be the same thing as it was before.
No.
It's not going to be the same, hey, I called on him on Tuesday, every Tuesday I go by that office. It's going to have to be different. It has to evolve. It's going to have to, you're going to have to be innovative and adapt.
And you really have to be organized and committed, because what used to be, I can cover that on Tuesday ain't happening anymore.
No, it's not.
And that's where, and this is what I've learned from Premier, and this is what you young people have taught me. We added a deal in our deal called Salesforce.
Okay.
Okay, and let me tell you right now, most salesmen go, "I ain't throwing that crap out."
Yep.
Okay, but the reality is we have young management, and it has value. It's a tool. It's something that they want to, and this is what this is. This is a podcast right here. This is all new to me, but the bottom line is it's a new way to reach out. Well, the other thing we have to do is when Gene that worked for me, works for Premier, Gene Yugi's amazing, most organized young lady I've ever worked with. And Gene one time sent out an email. We went and saw a client, and she said, "I'm going to call you in 2 weeks and we'll follow up." He said, "That's great." Well, 2 weeks to the day, ding, my email comes up.
Oh, it was
I said,
her phone?
God, I walked down to the office. I said, "Gene, you're amazing." She said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "How did you know to resend an email like that?" She said, "Do you know that you can type an email and put it 2 weeks out and it automatically sends it?"
I didn't know that.
Okay?
I didn't know that.
That's a shout out to Gene, because that was amazing. Well, that's the same thing as Salesforce does, is put all that information to where a company can go see that and look at it. Because we do. I've told our company the same thing. You are not going. I don't believe that most end users are going to allow anyone in their office for the remainder of 2020.
No, and that's kind of what I was kind of going at. Like, how do people meet people now? How are people going to meet new customers if they're not picking up the phone, if you can't go in their office during breakfast and stuff? That's why I say, like, stuff like this, hosting people at your home, just trying to stay in front of people in unique ways. I mean, I remember when it was at the stay-at-home orders, I was doing a lot of Zoom happy hours and just reaching out to customers that because they're friends. Like, that's what you want to do. You want to build on that friendship during a time like this, because there's no activity going on.
No.
What's recount right now?
We don't want to talk about it.
Exactly.
In the Zoom, we did the Zoom happy hours internally for the company originally, because we used to have a set day we'd go out, and then Jeff Lamb put together a deal out of Tulsa where he actually had a mixologist come, and you and I were talking today. I said, I want to do a happy hour Zoom for families, where we bring someone that makes balloons. It's creativity, but it's not creativity looking for work is creativity also, to tell people that you've done work for. You mean so much to me, and you're so much
It's
a part
the
of my life.
connection.
You know, I don't believe, I don't know where I'm supposed to look. I don't
Both.
I don't believe just because you don't have rigs working that you still don't count in my life. Okay?
Amen.
The people that have taken care of Mark and Susan Ryan are the most amazing customers / friends that I could ever have. I was with a fellow employee, and he made a comment to me the other day, and we were talking because we have a different philosophy. It's incredible operations, and I said, who do you work for? He said, that's a stupid question. I said, I'm being sincere. Who do you work for? He said, well, I work for Premier Pipe. I said, I don't. Could have heard a pin drop. Yes, I work for Premier Pipe, but I don't. I work for XTO. I work for Diamondback.
Yep.
I work for Sabine. I work for the people that pay my bills, because Steve Mulbear was Sammy Dan. And for all you that don't know this, Sammy Dan stands for Sam, Ed, and Ann, and that was Sam Noble. Before it was called Noble, it was called Sammy Dan. It was named after his 3 children.
I remember that. I'm old school. My
Old
first
school.
job was shooting woodpeckers at a
Yeah, Sam. First time I went offshore was Sammy Dan. And Steve Mulbear told me a long time ago, he says, Mark, he said, if you take care of my business, your business is going to be fine. He said, the day that you put your business before my business, we have a problem. I have practiced that, and I have been blessed to be known some of the greatest friends and greatest relationships you could ever have. And when you work for someone that you consider a friend, it's not a job.
No.
We talk about embracing, but the other side of that coin is you never want to let a friend down. So you really work harder, and you make sure it's right, and you make sure that everything's done, because I don't need him calling me. But we were talking earlier, and I told JP, mistakes happen. We're in that business. But the one thing that I could never tolerate, and I'm trying to learn to be more compassionate, is SIP, and that's self-inflicted pain.
Right.
And in this downturn market, you cannot afford to have a mistake on a well when all we're making is pennies across the board. Everybody's got to be 100% spot on.
Right. And if it's not, fix it.
If it's
Go
not,
out of your
fix
way
it.
and fix it. So, I guess talking about...
You're amazing at this, by the way.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm kind of locking up right now.
Huh?
I'm kind of locking up right now. But it's okay. It's okay. It's the first time we're doing this live, and we can do it again. I'm not worried about it. But
we're not allowed to open another bottle of wine, so we have to get through this.
So let's. I kind of want to talk. I mean, you've been through a lot of downturns, obviously, and you've always. I feel like you've always. It's been tough for you, but you come out on top. So that being said, do you feel that the same playbook or the same moves that you did with the previous downturns? Could that really be applied to what's going on right now?
The same work attitude is the same. We lost a lot of good people.
Yeah.
In this downturn, and we lost oil company people, we lost service people. Someone says, Jonathan, which obviously my son, and a lot of co-workers. And listen, those are tough decisions that management has to make. And it's really easy to go home and second guess him. But I can tell you right now, I know our management team, and I know how bad that they hurt through doing this to survive. What I tell everybody that ever gets laid off is this, is if you worked hard and you truly came to work every day and gave it 110%, and you got laid off in a scenario that you can't control, I want you to hold your head up proud. I want you to tell everybody thank you. And I want you to understand that this wasn't in your control. No. If you went to work every day and you did a half-assed job because you weren't committed to it, then go home and self-reflect and make sure this doesn't happen again.
And that's kind of something that is kind of the first point that we discussed. If do what you love, or try to find your passion, because there will be a lot of people that are let go from our industry. There's going to be a lot of people that aren't coming back to the oil field.
No. I mean, I want to sell cars when I retire. And people laugh at me and say, why do you want to sell cars?
That was so fun.
I said, man, I'm telling you, it's a stupid line. I can't wait to say, what's it going to take?
What's it going to take for you to get this car, drive out of here right now?
I'm working my manager right now, and I'll be looking. I don't know why, but it's the thing I've always wanted to do.
Well, that's the thing. I think
I don't want to do it right now, Mike, if you're listening. I want to do it 5 years from now.
But I think a lot of people are faced with, unfortunate, difficult times right now.
Terrible
and I think it's one of those things that, like, I've been, for example, sales. I've been in sales for 20 years. That's the only thing I know. But just because it's the only thing you know, that doesn't mean that you cannot go out there and, number one, learn something new, or B, pursue a passion that you enjoy.
I had a professor that told me every 3 years in your life, you should rethink how you do something. I don't mean you have to change jobs, but you should rethink. You should always be moving forward. Hey, podcast here.
Yeah.
A year ago, we'd have never been doing this.
No, absolutely.
Okay, I wouldn't have been doing this. You always have to reinvent yourself. You have to think. When this last downturn came, you'd ask me, what's the difference between this one and previous ones? In 1982, 1988, or whatever, all of them, when there were downturns, it was always the Halliburtons or this service company or BJUs or Smith Bid.
Right.
It was the service companies that let go. Excuse me. But the oil company is fine. So the philosophy always is you make less money in an oil company, but it's job security. Service side is more risk, but it's more rewarding.
Right.
And I think that rule's gone now.
You are seeing if anyone's on LinkedIn out there, I mean, what you're seeing on LinkedIn right now is pretty much it's heartbreaking. It's a bloodbath right now, and it's I've been at Schlumberger for 20 years. I've been at this company, this operator for 20 years, and there's a lot of good, talented, qualified, great people that are being let go right now.
You have the 40-year-old that has 3 children, that has got to have a job.
Yeah.
So he might leave the oil field because he has to go find work to feed his family. You have the 55-year-old gentleman that doesn't know if anyone's going to hire him anymore.
Yeah.
So now he is totally processed. Listen, I'm 60, my wife is 65, and I'm thinking retirement, this and that, and there's been a lot of things that have been revamped and redone. And I guess what I'm trying to say is we can't control what we don't have control over.
Right.
But if you're doing what you love going home, you feel a part of something, even when it's bad, it might not have worked out as planned, but this is going to be okay.
Man, life goes...
And now I got to figure out how to get friends working, because there's some really great people that did nothing wrong. And now it's not just the oil field.
No, it's not.
It's the banking industry, the housing industries, people's
restaurants.
I learned about Carl Icahn because when I went to work for WKM, he bought him to get the 401k plan. Well, I went through 6 buyouts between Joy and Carl Isaac and Cooper Industries and Cameron and all these. Well, every time there was a buyout, they sent you your 401k check. I didn't know you were supposed to reinvest it. Oof. So it was great. It's like every 2 years, hey, I got X amount of dollars to go party with. Well, there's a 10% penalty. I didn't care. It came out before I saw it. Yeah. I mean, those are the things and that's one of the things I try to teach to kids of today. Look, when things are booming, there's bonuses.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing, and that's part of your salary. You should not live for it, but it is. If you get a really good bonus, buy yourself a new driver. Please buy a new jacket, JP. And so on. But don't go out and buy a bigger house or this or that, because bank your cash for a rainy day. Because a 60-year-old, rainy days come.
We're not in a rainy day right now. This is a rainy year.
Season.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to retire, and my brother used to laugh at me and say, "You can't retire." He said, "You spend too much money. You have to take it down 3 notches." It took it down for me because I couldn't go out.
Well, so this downturn is completely different than anything that you've experienced before. That being said, obviously, I mean, it's not obvious, but it's pretty pessimistic and doom and gloom these days. But the oil field will come back. I don't know what that looks like. But that being said, because this is a different downturn or this is a different bust, what do you see the oil field learning anything from this, or do you actually see any learning lessons to be learned?
I'll feel like I'll re-ask the question. I feel like a politician. What did they do wrong that created this? I mean, I think the most interesting thing that we've seen is all of these hedge funds that own 6 oil companies or this or that are walking in companies saying, you're not doing it that way, you're merging with them. So we're seeing consolidation. That's one. And consolidation means less people. I wish I knew the answer, because if oil hits $75, we're going to drill stuff we shouldn't drill, or we're going to spend money we shouldn't spend, or
It's always pedal to the metal or slam on the brakes.
I don't know. You know, for me, it was crown to ground.
Yeah.
You know.
And Roughneck Jerry.
I think the thing is, and I wish I'd have brought this, and I'll send this to you. We do a thing called a market forecast, and it deals with scrap metal and inventory. Okay, in our business, there used to be like 4 months of inventory on the ground at a time.
Right.
We like for it to be closer to 60 to 90 days worth of inventory. With this downturn and all the pipe coming out, you know what the inventory levels on the ground are? 9.9 months.
Gosh.
Okay. And prices are doing this.
Yep.
Okay, wait a second. I paid this. Everyone is feeling pain together. I think that's maybe a little bit different here. I think we go to these oil companies now, and instead of just here's a number, it's more of here's what I paid, and that's not even relevant. If we're a true partnership, if we're a true team, let's bleed together.
And I think that is so important and imperative right now. Is like there's obviously rig counts down, operations are just down. I mean, there's not good news until maybe Q3.
We're hoping natural gas.
Yeah, we're hoping natural gas. But that being said, you can't wait and sit at the house, or you can't wait and sit home and just sit there and kind of twirl your thumbs, wait for that Q3 to come, then get back out there and start calling on people, because these are your friends, and it's going to come across not authentic if you just sit back.
Well, it's funny you say that, because this phone, this personality, this hand movement that I do and get in people's face, okay? If you embrace it and you believe it, it's real. And excitement breeds excitement.
Yeah.
And JP is walking proof of this. And we're not here to stroke each other, but if you wake up every day and you really love what you do, that resonates. That resonates to people. That resonates to your family. It resonates to your suppliers. And that's what you want. You want it to where you're real about this. I made a comment. I tell our salespeople, when you go in a meeting, and think about this, JP, you can reflect on it. Every meeting you go to, there's usually only two good things that come out of it. And most people don't ever read. They don't watch the meeting and learn what those two items are. Whether it's we use this consultant, we don't use
right.
you, or this is why we do this. And I make it a point, that's reading a scenario. But the one thing you cannot fake is genuine.
Yeah.
And let me tell you right now, there's a lot of companies out there that it's a price, and that's fine too. And I understand it, especially as market. But there's other customers that they want to know, hey, I'm not going to mention his name because I told him I wouldn't. We're supposed to have dinner. Supposed to have dinner with him.
Don't.
But his answer always is, you treat me fair.
Yeah.
Because if I don't make a profit, I'm not going to be in business.
Right.
Premier Pipe, it has to make a profit. We've taken furloughs, and we've done this. We've done things that we have to survive, to take care of people's families. But at some point, you have to make money. So my answer has always been, I don't need to get rich off one account. You treat me fair. You let me make a fair profit. And when the market's going through the roof, you're right here. But guess what? When the market's going to the crapper,
yeah,
you're right here.
And that's what it is.
The minute that I can get out of here, I'll get you down to here. But James Smith with PetroQuest, when we had the downturn in 15, 16,
yeah,
he said, what do we have on order? We will honor everything we have. And it kept us alive.
Because of that relationship you had.
Right is right, wrong is wrong.
So, Mark, I guess let's wrap this up. We're coming up on 33 minutes. I think Chase Hanna said, are we taking live questions?
We are, Chase. How are you?
I was going to say, let's leave it.
But you owe me a picture for your new baby that you haven't sent me yet.
I was going to say, let's. If you have any messages for the audience or anyone that's going to be tuning in later, throw it out there. Any message or guidance or words of advice?
Yeah, my wife, if she's listening, will tell you, don't do what he did. If I made mistakes in my life, 1,000%. Has this mouth got me in a lot of trouble?
Probably.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah. Yes.
But I go to work every day, ready to go.
Yep.
I love the fact that I get to work with young people. It's a blessing. I made the comment, my boss, Mike Hubble, when they hired me, I said, my goal is to teach.
Yep.
To teach younger people how to do it. You know, this is what I would have done different. This is what I'd have done there. But I got to be honest with you, they're teaching me so much. I can't do an Excel spreadsheet, and they go, you know. So I'm learning so much with Salesforce and this and that, and how to put this together and that. So my thing is if you're not happy and you don't like what you're doing, please try to find something else. Life is way too short. But
Amen to that.
you know, the other side of the coin is we're just blessed. We're just blessed by what we do. And I can't believe Chase Hanna actually tuned in. Chase, that makes me so happy.
Chase says he's heard the hot dog story.
He's heard the hot dog story.
All right. Does anybody have any questions? There's a lot of good banter right now going on right now. All right.
And we did it the right way.
All
and
right.
we're looking at a computer versus, and you can't believe the setup that JP has. I want to thank Cat Petroleum for asking me to do this, and my company laughing because our CEO Randall said, "Mark, you can't do this in 40 minutes. You need an hour and a half."
Yeah, I know. If I can cut you off in 40 minutes, it'll be a miracle. Okay. Well, I think your son is blowing. Okay. Gene is saying, "What is your favorite $20 bottle of red wine?"
Oh my God! Yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. I was at Costco. Where we were buying the steaks for this, and I bought Raymond for $32, which I if I
That's
buy
that's $70 wine.
it's a couple things. If I'm buying a $20 bottle of wine, I opened a 2010 Chateau Saint Michelle the other day. I guarantee that bottle wasn't more than $15 because in 2010, it's all I could afford was $15. But it aged. So my opinion is if you can stay in the $20 to $30 range and buy enough to let some of it age, you can achieve everything that's achieved on a $100 bottle of wine if you have the time. The problem is most wines are drank the first 18 minutes that they're bought. Do you know that?
Yes.
Most wines are open within the first day. They go to the grocery store, they buy the wine, they get home, they open it.
Yeah. As it should be.
As it should be.
As it should be.
Okay? I'm a salesman. Hey, every parent out there knows.
Real quick. Daniel Parker is asking, first off, Daniel, hello, we miss you.
We do miss you.
What kind of wine are you drinking right now? This is what? Is this Conundrum?
This is Conundrum.
This is Conundrum. Nice $22 bottle of wine. 4.1 ranking. Monica
he pointed that out to me. It was a 4.1 ranking.
Yeah, I know. It's just a soft flex. Monica wants to know, what have you been doing during this isolation time?
According to my wife, all I do is play golf. This is really interesting for people listening, and this is our CEO sent this note out, and this is what he told our employees. And I want everyone to practice this. And it's a little bit different, but he said every day you wake up, you should get dressed like you're going to the office.
Okay.
And you should keep that routine because routines are important. And what you don't want, and I think I think the younger people have learned that they're really good at working at home. Okay, I'm past 40 something and 45-year-old plus.
You don't look it.
Well, I do. 45 plus needs structure. I like being in the office. But our CEO's deal was get up every day, get a routine, get dressed, be ready to go to your computer, start your job.
So I think routines are important. I really do. However,
and I've been cooking too, Monica.
I've started doing in the mornings. What I'll do, I'll get up and go for a walk, and I'll do little walk and talks. I'll just call some, frustomers. Frustomers is a legal term that I came up with. Friends that are customers, frustomers.
I need to use that.
And I'll call about 3 or 4 of them, and I'll call some sales buddies of mine. Just talk to people. I mean, people right now, because of isolation and because of the market, man, they're staying at the house.
Well, the other thing is it is so critical in this time to reach out to your friends. Because I tell you what, I've had some friends reach out to me I hadn't talked to in probably a year or two that said, hey, I just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I heard about a friend that got laid off that was a vice president of a company in Austin that I looked and said, what?
Yeah.
And the bottom line is we do not know what everybody are going through at their home because we have our own scenarios. So if you're willing to take 10 minutes of your time a day to reach out to someone, then you know what? That counts, man.
Oh, it does. It does. And also, it not only lifts them up, it lifts you up.
It lifts you up. You love to hang a phone and tell your wife,
so we're doing questions right now. Not to interrupt, but Ruben Rico says, JP, because of the pandemic, have you had to wear the same suit twice in a week now?
I told him to get
This
it
is
right.
literally the first time I've thrown on a blazer in 2.5 months right now. I love it. I love it. So that's good. Jonathan Ryan says, why is this fall worse than the others?
It's because everything that goes with it, Jonathan, is, with the exception and so on. And let me tell you right now, Jonathan, who's on the phone, I'm so damn proud of that I can't say enough, is going to work for Home Depot, which pays less than unemployment. But the Ryan family believes you have to work, and I'm so proud of what he's done. The reason it's worse, Jonathan, is because the way it's affected everybody. People have lost their life savings. People have lost, you have one thing. It's one thing to lose your job. Hey, I'll go get to work in this industry. We're shut down across the board. I heard a deal the other day, and it was a guy owned 12 restaurants. He said, imagine that you woke up and all 12 restaurants burned to the ground and you don't have insurance.
Yeah.
He said that's what he experienced. He did nothing wrong in his life. He's worked hard. He took all the money that he made, he put it back in his restaurants. He woke up one day and the government says, you're not open for the next 90 days. So what's made it worse, Jonathan, is all the unforeseen that we God, that's going to be unforeseen that you can't see. But it's all the things that go with it. And what I don't think we understand also is a lot of people staying home are just absolutely, I don't believe it's healthy. That's my opinion. My wife will tell you I haven't been home. I've played a ton of golf. Golf tan. I'll show you on my golf tan. So,
That's a flex.
Yeah. But that's been the biggest difference, Jonathan, is all the unknowns that go on top of it. And we're in an election year. No, Susan, I'm not going to talk politics, but I think the world is playing politics with people on who opens and who doesn't, because if you think that benefits them. So the biggest difference has been, not only do we not control what's happening, we have just taken $7 trillion and totally ruined y'all's future, your kids' future, and your kids' kids' future. And that's just so unbelievable to grasp, that you could work all your life and wake up one day and your world just came to end for doing nothing wrong.
Which goes back to the point of do what you love.
Do what you love.
Do what you love, because if not, at the end of the day, it's not worth it.
What's it going to take to get you in this car?
It's not worth it. Yeah, exactly. Carrick Payton says, what is the law? Carrick Payton, actually, one of my best friends, he hired me into the oil field at Noble Drilling, 2006.
Okay.
So a very close friend of mine, very good
It's hard to
mentor.
believe he was in the Corps. Look at that hair. He was in the Corps.
He goes, what is the long game with not getting a haircut, JP? The salon's been closed. The haircut place has been closed. I haven't been able to get a haircut. Before it looked like that before the lockdown. Now it's like this.
I got mine cut a week ago Monday, and the worst part is they wouldn't. Oh, you don't know this yet because you're still young. They wouldn't trim my ears or eyebrows.
They wouldn't?
No.
You get your eyebrows trimmed?
Oh my God! It's
Okay.
it's a bush neck, man.
Jonathan Ryan has said several times, please stop telling the hot dog story.
It will never be told again until I go back up to A&M.
Is there anything else that anyone wants to chime in right now and ask? 5, 4, 3, 2.
I do want to say one thing before we leave. I want to, and I'm being very sincere with this. I'm the most blessed person in the world to have all these friends that called in and checked in, but all the people that I'm 17 months younger than my brother. I talk to him every day. Mm-hmm. Been married to Susan for 35 years. Talk to Jonathan every day. I've been incredibly blessed with work. I've been incredibly blessed with friends. I've been incredibly blessed with customers that I've now renamed Frustomers, because I don't have any customers. I have friends. And I just want everyone out there that did listen or decides to, that thanks to all of you, I am where I'm at. It's not anything that I ever did special. It's what y'all allowed me to do with y'all and take me for who I am. And it meant everything to me. So thank you. And JB, I can't believe you let me do this.
Well, I'm glad. Well,
and,
I'm glad you did this.
Thank you. And I cannot do what Mr. Warren here does, because this is the zone.
Well, Mark, I appreciate that. And also thank you so much for coming on. And if anyone would like to get in touch with either Mark or myself, then go ahead and email us at roundtherotary@cap-petro.com. And then,
Or if you need OCTG, it's Premier Pipe 832-300-8100.
well, they have this new part of an email where you got to forward it, so I could forward it anyway. Just feel free to either leave a comment, or if you want to get in touch with Mark Ryan with Premier Pipe or myself, just give us a holler. Thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see y'all later. Cheers. Everyone have a safe weekend. We love you. We miss everyone. So everyone take care. Bye.
Thank
now.
y'all.
I'm gonna do the old man dad hang up right there. We'll just do this.